Hello, good evening. All right, I am going to try to pull up my notes because tonight we are going to have a little lesson on attachment style. That's what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so I'm just trying to pull up my notes and come on in and join us. We're going to have a talk maybe for about 20-30 minutes, and then I'm getting ready to wind down. I am winding down for the night. I am coming up with my tea and winding down for the night. But let's talk a little bit about attachment style. Something I have not created a whole lot of content around, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit tonight. If you would be so kind as to tell me your first name, the city, state, or country that you are coming to us from, that would be wonderful. But I am going to talk about the 4 adult attachment styles, okay? And I'm going to do a little less talking about how they come to be. I know a lot of channels love to talk about that. Thank you, Garland Stillwell, for purchasing a badge, for purchasing the first badge. Thank you so much. All right. A lot of people love to talk about where it comes from. I'm actually not going to talk so much about that tonight. But I would like to talk a little bit about how we can become more securely attached, because I think that's important. And thank you, Garland. All right. And I want you to listen carefully so you can determine what is your attachment style. So if any of this resonates with you, as I'm talking, I want you to put in the comments, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, fearful avoidant attachment, like one of these 3, or securely attached. You could be securely attached, okay? And so we are going to talk a little bit about the 4 types of attachment. I'm not going to talk, thank you. I'm not going to talk so much about, like I said, how they come to be. I can do that in another live because that's like a whole lot of discussion. But we are going to talk about the attachment styles, all 4 of them. We're going to talk about what makes them different. And the attachment styles that are not securely attached, we're going to talk a little bit about the work that needs to be done so you can become more securely attached. Okay, I'm just waving to people. As you come in, please give us your first name and the city, state, or country that you are coming to us from. Okay? Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about how attachment style affects adult relationships, because we're seeing a lot of people are struggling out here with relationships and with dating. And to be honest with you, sometimes it has to do with your attachment style. Okay, so the most important thing to know is that you can become more securely attached. So if you find yourself being very anxious, if you find yourself questioning all the time and being very impulsive and wanting reassurance all the time, because know this, people who are anxiously attached, their number one fear is abandonment. They have an abandonment wound somewhere in their past, somewhere in their childhood. They were not seen. They were not heard. They were not good enough. They were abandoned. And so they are on high alert all the time. Like, oh my gosh, what is this person thinking? And do they like me? And where are they? And when are they coming back? And what, they're always on high alert, anxiously attached people. So that's what we're going to start off with. Anxious attachment. Okay. We're going to start off with anxious attachment. And I'm seeing a lot of people with anxious attachment. I, in my 20s, was very anxiously attached. I spent all of my 20s very anxiously attached. And it's because of the abandonment wound that I have in my childhood. And so I was always on high alert. I was always, reading people and intuitively trying to figure out what people thought, what people were feeling, because the hope was that if I could know this information early on, I could keep people from leaving me. I could keep people from abandoning me. I could, try to perform, like try to have this performance love where I have to, meet all their needs and be everything they need me to be so that I can get love. Don't work that way. So the anxiously attached folks, you're going to find yourself having a very hard time with giving your partner space. You're going to have a very hard time with being alone, doing things for yourself, and having a life of your own. A lot of anxiously attached people, they want to be attached to their partner. They want to be attached at the hip. They want to know what's going on all the time, and they want to spend all this time together, doing everything together. They're going to have a really hard time learning how to be a little more autonomous, a little more independent. Okay? So let me All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about anxious attachment. Okay? Let's see if I can find. That's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. There we go. Let's look here. Oh, because I know I had it. I saved it. All right. So anxious attachment. They have a strong fear of abandonment. That's the first thing you need to know. These are the defining characteristics for people who are anxiously attached. Let me wave to folks as you're coming in. I see a bunch of folks coming in. Please give me your first name, your city, state, or country that you're coming to me from. So people who are anxiously attached, they have a strong fear of abandonment. So I started it off with that. That was my attachment style for a lot of years. They can be very jealous or clingy to their romantic partner. They worry all the time about their relationship. They worry about the relationship failing. They worry about their partner cheating. They are in a constant state of worry about their relationships. They're highly attuned to others' needs, but they struggle to trust other people. And they struggle to trust that other people will take care of them or be there for them. But these are the people I don't trust, people. I don't trust. I have trust issues. Those are your anxiously attached people. Okay. They usually have low self-esteem. And they require a constant reassurance from their romantic partners, from their friends. They just need to be constantly reassured. Okay, that they are enough, that they are loved, that people aren't going anywhere. They're just, they just need this constant reassurance. And they can be pretty clingy. Okay. All right. So when we have these anxiously attached people, here's the bad news. They can push people away. So this is what I find so interesting about all the attachment styles other than secure. So the other three, the insecure attachment styles, what they all three have in common is a fear of intimacy. They have a fear of intimacy. They have a fear of people seeing them and of them really seeing other people. They have a fear of being known and just being close, just having a genuine close intimacy. So we're not talking about, the S word. We're talking about emotional intimacy. That's what all three of the insecurely attached attachment styles they have in common. They're fearful of intimacy. And so anxious people, their ways that they have, the double and triple texting, the calling and all of that, they don't realize it. But by doing this, they're pushing people away. They're pushing love away. They're pushing real intimacy away because of these scaredy cat ways that they have and just always being on high alert and always expecting someone to let them down or somebody's doing something, right? They have those ways that push people away. It's very hard for anxiously attached people to be patient. It's very hard for them to self-soothe. So when they get into these mindsets where they start worrying, right? Oh my gosh, I haven't heard from my man. And, what am I supposed to do? And, he normally calls by now. Or, my lady, said she was on her way over, but it's 20 minutes later and she's not here. Where is she? What's going on? Like, here we go. Here we go. And a lot of them are impulsive. They just can't help themselves. They are going to call and text and call and text. And it's insane. And what they're doing, though, is they are pushing people away. They're pushing people away with these behaviors. And guess what? When you push people away with these behaviors, you're not going to get the love and the caring and the closeness that you desire so much. All right. How do we act if not this way? So we're going to talk about securely attached last, but you're going to be securely attached. That's what I want you to shoot for. Thank you so much, Chocolate Southern Gent, for buying a badge. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. But we're trying to get you to be more securely attached. That's what we're after. And securely attached people don't jump to conclusions. They don't make up stories in their head, right? Anxiously attached people do. And that's why I always tell people, when you're dealing with someone who's anxiously attached, I need you to give them all the details. Fill in all the blanks, because if you leave any blanks open, they're going to fill it in. They're going to fill in those blanks with something they made up in their head. So please give them all the information they need, fill in all the blanks, so they're not making up a story that isn't even true. But that is your anxiously attached. Okay. Avoidant. Oh boy. Are we ready? Listen up. So for those of you who think you're anxiously attached, I want you to put that in the comments. Okay. Are we ready? Avoidance. They don't feel the need to develop close bonds or relationships. So people who are dismissive avoidant are uber independent, right? Uber autonomous. They take it to a whole nother level. Don't feel the need to develop close bonds or relationships. They avoid relationships as a way to stay disengaged from emotional closeness and potential hurt. Remember what these three styles have in common. It is a fear of intimacy. So avoidant people too fear intimacy. They fear being seen and seeing other people. They fear getting close. And that fear of getting close could be, I could get hurt. I could be let down. There's lots of reasons why people fear intimacy. Okay. But they prioritize their independence in an unhealthy way that limits deep emotional connection with others. So they're the people who are like, nope, it's okay. I got it. Nope, I don't need help. I don't need you to do this. I'm going to do that on my own. Oh, I need to spend time alone. I need to spend days and weeks and months by myself. And these people, will be in relationships. Okay. But they're like, nope, I will not call for a couple of days. I don't need to see you but once a week. They're doing this. They are keeping you at arm's length at all times. You're never going to get closer than this. Okay. Because they're putting their arms out and they're saying, nope, you're not going to get but so close. They hide their feelings. They are horrible at conflict. They are horrible at identifying feelings, talking about feelings. They hide their feelings. And they have feelings, but they hide them. They struggle to cope with their emotions. So these are people that are the king and queen of distraction. They will distract themselves. They will have a breakup or something bad happen and they'll go out and, try to have fun. And, they're just like, yep, I just won't even think about that. I won't even focus on that. I'll work extra hours at work, or I'll go out drinking, or they're just not even going to acknowledge their emotions. They consider a partner who has needs needy. Okay. When that partner seeks emotional closeness, they gaslight them by saying, you're so needy. You're so clingy. Right. And it's really their way of trying to shame that person into not getting their needs met. So please don't fall for it. Right? Don't fall for the foolishness. If you have an emotional need to spend time with your partner and to get close to your partner and to go out on dates or to come over and watch a movie together, or how about this? You come over there and y'all get busy and they tell you can't spend the night. No, please don't fall for that mess. Don't fall for that mess. No, there's not. And them saying, oh, you're so clingy. You're so needy. Who does that? I do that. That is the need that I have. I have an emotional need to spend the night. I have an emotional need to see you more than once every 2 weeks. I do. So don't let that person shame you into thinking that you wanting to spend time or you wanting to talk on the phone or you wanting to spend the night There is nothing needy about that. We all have needs. But a dismissive avoidant will make you believe that you're needy. But that's not true. All right, I had a couple of comments. This was how my ex was, and it ultimately drove me away. Lex Q91, was it avoidant or was it anxious? They don't read more into a text message, okay? How do you deal with an overly attached person? Is that even possible? Okay, so Lex Q91, here's what I would say to that. I'm curious to know what you think your attachment style is. Are you a dismissive avoidant? Are you securely attached? Are you a fearful avoidant? And we're going to get to fearful avoidant. Because a lot of times when people say, oh, my ex was so needy. Oh, he did. We have to sometimes question that and say, okay, what do you mean by that? Give me some examples. And when a person, gives me their examples, sometimes I can determine, okay, no, you're more of a dismissive avoidant. Like that person wasn't needy. You're just avoidant. Now, sometimes that person could be needy. You could be securely attached, and that person could be an anxious attachment. So that's what I would say. Okay, if you're securely attached and you're with someone who's anxiously attached, sure, for sure. But again, there are ways in which to manage that. There are ways in which to help that person, or if they want to do it, to grow and become more securely attached. But we all have needs. We all have needs and desires, and we shouldn't be shamed for that. Okay, now we're going to talk about fearful avoidant. So what happened to me over time? So in all of my 20s, I was anxiously attached. And in my 30s, I became more securely attached. But after my divorce, I then went into the land of fearful avoidant. And that's what we're going to talk about now. That's the third insecurely attached attachment style. Okay, so this is the push-pull. This is what I found myself in. The push-pull dynamic, the back and forth dynamic, okay? Craves closeness, but fears getting hurt. That's the classic fearful avoidant. Wants to have a relationship. Oh, it feels so good. But, I don't know if I trust you, okay? So they're going to do that back and forth dance. They worry that the people closest to them will harm them. They don't trust others. They can sabotage close relationships. Fearful avoidants are the king and queen of self-sabotage. They will overthink. Oh my God. And this means this. And they meant that. And they don't. See, they will just self-sabotage. Okay. There can be unpredictable in relationships. So they can be very warm and cuddly. And then they can be very cool, very cold. Okay. They can leave you clean alone. Okay. So depending on the day, you never know what you're going to get. Okay. They can find it challenging to also deal with emotions. Remember what I said, these three, they have a fear of intimacy. So they also don't feel comfortable with these strong emotions that come up. And they also have difficulty dealing with their emotions. But it's the fearful avoidant is the push-pull. You find yourself wanting to be close and in a healthy relationship. And then when that actually happens, you find yourself pushing people away. When that person goes away, you want them to come close. And then when they get too close, you're going to push them away. And you're going to do that dance over and over. A lot of fearful avoidants, they're the queen of break up to make up, break up to make up, break up to make up. That's what they do. All right. All right. Any other questions, comments? Let me just look real quick. All right. All right. Oh, okay. So Lex Q, you said you think you're anxious. I would say I'm secure. Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I want you to identify. Oh, no, she says I'm dismissive avoidant. Okay. Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, here's the thing. If you were more securely attached, you would be able to walk him through, okay, this doesn't work for me. I need you to, pace yourself. I need you to wait for me to respond before you text or call again. Like you could have worked through that. People who are securely attached, they have the most patience out of all of us. They're able to, so we're going to talk about securely attached. You ready? Securely attached people, they understand that even when others leave, it's often temporary and the relationship won't be impacted negatively. So they can have a fair amount of closeness. They can also allow people to take space. People taking space does not freak them out. Okay, that's not a freak out. Oh, she says, I'll admit it, I'm working on it. Okay, yeah, I want you to work on becoming more securely attached. Oh, fearful avoidant, yes. Yeah, that's me. That's what I'm working on actively, is working on my fearful avoidance. I feel uncomfortable with lots of emotion, but I realize it's all me. Yeah. So you might not be as securely attached as you think, because people who struggle with talking about emotions, displaying emotions, they do tend to be not securely attached. People who are securely attached, okay, so understand there's mutual love and trust and partnership. Does not feel as though there's a threat to the foundation of the relationship. They have healthy, open, and honest conversations and communication. They know how to balance closeness and independence in a healthy way. They have high self-esteem. They have the ability to trust others. And they have the ability to have long-term healthy relationships. They are comfortable with talking about emotions. They're comfortable with talking about feelings. And so, yeah, this is how I feel. What do you think about that? This is what I'm going through. What do you think about that? I feel hurt when you don't call all day. What do you think about that? That's what securely attached people do. They believe that what they think and how they feel matters. And so they express that to other people. They don't hold it in. They don't push it down. They don't become resentful. They let people know, hey, when you don't call all day, it gets kind of lonely. It really feels good to be checked in on. It really feels good to hear from you. See, that's what securely attached people do. And I'm saying these words, I'm saying these scripts because this is what I'm practicing doing. This is what I'm practicing doing every single day. It feels good when you call. It feels good when we check in. I love hearing your voice. I love hearing from you. See, this is what securely attached people do. So, okay. All right. Yes, I would say I'm fearful avoidant. I was unaware of this, but my last relationship was a mirror. Yeah. So if you want closeness and then you push people away once you get it, and then when they stay gone too long, you want to pull them back in, and then they get comfortable and you want to push them back out, that's what fearful avoidant is. So yeah, you have got to work on your attachment style. Okay, Garland says, sounds like an old ex, warm and cuddly, but alternating between fretful and put-offish. Broke up with me, then sent a formal breakup memo to all my friends and family members, but didn't copy me. That's hysterical. Okay, yeah, she might have been fearful avoidant. For sure. All right. Thank you for joining. If you're coming in, I will be saving this live. Thank you. And what I want to remind you all of, thank you, the Feminine Safe Space, for buying a badge. I want to remind you, this is the last live. This is the last live. Today is February 28th, and this will be the last live that I will save for everyone to see. As of tomorrow, March 1st, all lives will be saved for subscribers only. You must be a subscriber to see the saved live. If you come in on the live and I'm live, then okay, you in here. However, if you come in on the end and you want to hear all of it, you must be a subscriber, because starting tomorrow, you must subscribe to my Instagram page to look at all my lives. All of my saved lives will be for subscribers only. And I will start making content as of tomorrow. I will start making reels and other things for subscribers only. I'm really trying to get up my subscribers on Instagram. Okay. Thank you so much for purchasing a badge. Hi, Anita. I love your information and your knowledge, and you're beautiful, and I love your skin tone. Thank you so much. Thank you for the lovely compliment. Okay. Shared with some friends of mine. Thank you. Thank you. She said she got her coins ready. So not just follow, sweetheart, you have to be a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber. Okay. So those are the 4 attachment styles. And securely attached, it is estimated that about 50% of us are securely attached. And then the other 50%, a third is anxious, avoidant, fearful avoidant. Here's what I personally believe. I believe there are more anxious and avoidant. The fearful avoidants are probably like 5%. And then the rest of it is split between anxiously attached and avoidant. So fearful avoidants are like 5%, maybe 10. I wouldn't even go that high. I'd probably say 5%. And, we're a special group. We're a special group of people that we have both kind of mixed in together. But if you are dismissive avoidant, chances are you were left to fend for yourself. Chances are you grew up too fast. Chances are people didn't meet the needs that you had. And so you then said, well, then I won't have any needs. I won't have any needs. Since people can't see me, hear me, meet the needs that I have, I just won't have any. I will focus on myself. I will be independent. I'll make sure I never rely on other people again. Those are dismissive avoidant people. And they fear, so here's what's interesting. Anxious people fear being abandoned. Avoidant people fear being engulfed. They fear someone restricting them. They fear someone restricting their freedom. They fear the commitment is going to turn them into someone else, someone different, someone they don't want to be. And so that's their greatest fear. Their greatest fear is that, oh, if I get close to this person, I'll disappear. I won't know who I am, and I won't have the space I need, and I won't have the time to myself. So that's their greatest fear. And again, they need to learn to communicate as well. They need to tell their partners, hey, I want to spend time, but there is time away or apart that I need so I can feel connected to myself. But their greatest challenge is to learn how to be just a little bit closer. Spend a little more time. Get a little bit closer. Let people see them, especially people who are safe. There's a great book written by Dr. Cloud and Dr. Townsend. It's called Safe People. It's a blue book. And I recommend that every person read that book, especially my clients. I let them know that if you're not aware of how to determine if a person is safe, I want you to read that book. That book is going to teach you how to have discernment when it comes to choosing safe people, because that's all it is. All it is you have to learn how to choose safe people. But once you've chosen a safe person, I want you to be with them. I want you to open up to them. I want you to talk with them. I want you to let them see you. I want you to see them. Right? That's it. That's the secret. Choose safe people. Choose safe people, and then you'll be safe. That's it. But the avoidant and the anxious person and the fearful avoidant person, they need to be aware, number one, of their attachment style. They need to be honest with themselves, just like I was when I took it when I was young. I said, yep, I'm anxious. And I took it again, and now I'm fearful avoidant. So I had to do some self-reflection. And this is the problem I have with so many people today. People are either afraid or their ego can't handle being self-reflected. Their ego cannot handle them looking at their flaws and saying, you know what? This isn't good. This is a problem. I push people away. I have a fear of intimacy. And for some reason, it's like people are so fragile today. They can't see their flaws. I don't understand that. Last I checked, the whole idea of being self-reflective, the whole idea of looking at yourself is so that you could be better, so that you could work on yourself and be better. It's not to just say, oh, you horrible, dismissive avoidant, you're a horrible person. That's not why we're doing this. We're doing this so we can identify, I do push people away. I do be leaving people alone. Like people be calling and texting and I don't be answering. I try to be in relationships, but then I don't want nothing to do. Like the whole idea is to help you be your best self. So remember that when we're self-reflecting, when we're looking at our stuff, it's not to make us feel bad. It's not to convict us or to condemn us. It's to convict us, to say, yeah, I do that. I need to get better. I need to stop doing that. That's all. That's all. It's not meant to beat you up. It's not meant to call you bad. It's so funny to me because I'll be in appointments with clients and I'll say, yes, I'm noticing this, or I'm seeing a little bit of that. And you know what they do? They immediately take on shame. I think this is amazing that that's where the human mind goes. That if you say to a person, yeah, I noticed that, you trip over certain words, or I noticed that you do this. Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm bad. I can't get that right. They like come up with all these ways to bring shame onto themselves. And I'm like, no, you're not. I didn't say that to make you wrong. I didn't say that to make you bad. I didn't say that. No, it's just an observation. Like you're putting shame on it that doesn't have to be there. And it's the same with the anxious person. When I say, yeah, I'm noticing you're very anxious. You're texting a lot. You want reassurance. You want someone to soothe you. But here's the thing. People are not always available to soothe us. We have to learn how to self-soothe. And they do the same thing. Oh, yeah, I'm messed up. I don't know why I do that. I just be worried all the time. And I don't trust people. I know I'm messed up. I'm like, stop doing that. Like, why are you bringing all this shame? The only thing I'm doing is pointing out a blind spot so you can see it and work on it and get better. That's it. There's nothing wrong or bad or shameful about any of this. But the reason why we're talking about it is so that you can become more securely attached. And being more securely attached, like, oh my gosh, you're going to improve by like 400% your chances of having a happy, healthy, long-term relationship. The securely attached people of the world, can I be honest? Their partners die or their partners they stay together. When you have securely attached people, their relationships tend to work out. Like the way that you're going to find them single is if one of them die. One of them will die or something will happen. But for the most part, those are the people that are making up the 50% of us that are staying married, because securely attached people have the skills necessary to be in a healthy relationship. People who are not securely attached, you're fearful avoidant, you're dismissive avoidant, you're anxiously attached. These are the people that have a fear of intimacy. These are the people with the behaviors that are pushing people away, that are making people run for the hills, that are making people crazy. They're crazy making. So whether it's you're anxious and you're double and triple and quadruple texting, and you're constantly needing reassurance and what's happening and where are you and what's going on? Do you love me? That's exhausting. That's exhausting. Most people can't deal with that. And then you have your dismissive avoidant. Oh, we don't need to ride together. Or, oh, I'm going to do this with my friends. You don't need to come along. Or, oh, yeah, you can come over, but you got to be gone by 10. Or, oh, no, this isn't normal. What? And you call this a relationship? Yes, in a relationship, people spend time together. People spend the night. People meet each other's friends. They meet each other's family. That's normal. That's what healthy, normal people do. And I'm not saying right away. You may have to be patient and wait a little while until you get to know each other. But that's what normal, healthy people do. But this idea of, oh, I don't let anybody meet my family. I don't let anybody meet my friends. What? That's weird. That's weird. Okay? So, yes, if you are any one of these three insecurely attached, I want you to check out the book Attached. Okay? Let me get the author for you. I want to say Amir Levine. That sounds right. Yes. Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. You want to read Attached, the new science of adult attachment and how it can help you find and keep love. So I've read that book many, many times. I've also listened to it on Audible. And I do a lot of work with my clients on attachment style. And I'm often telling them, I'm working on my attachment style. Like, you are not alone. As a fearful avoidant, who leans more toward being anxious, I'm working on my attachment style. It's crazy making. It's crazy making. But what I do is I tend to write out scripts. I will write out scripts of things that are normally pretty hard for me to say. And I will practice saying those things. I will write out scripts, practice saying those things. I practice standing up for myself. I practice expressing how I feel. So that's it. I just take the time every single day. I will journal sometimes or talk to a friend, talk to my family members. Here's how I'm feeling today. And practice being vulnerable. That's something that all of the insecure attachment styles have in common. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be appropriately vulnerable. Anxious people, they're freaking out all the time when they need to just say, I have this attachment style thing and I have fears around, intimate relationships. Be vulnerable. That's it. Just be vulnerable. All right. I had a comment in here. Okay. It says social human connection interaction has been minimized and demonized. Whew. You said a mouthful. So yes, in this day and age, in this time, we do not value social human connection and interaction. We don't. We would rather talk to someone through a screen. We'd rather talk with someone, through a text than meet up face to face. One of the things that I am very adamant about is spending time with my people. I spend time with my people. I invite my people over. I go to them. We go out. We go to have coffee. I spend time with my people. I really, really do. And we need to get back to that. I think that is what's hurting us as a society, is that we're not, and then we're just not valuing that. We do not value feelings. We do not value expressing our feelings. We do not value human interaction or connection. We do not value vulnerability. We see that as weakness. We do not value intimacy, emotional intimacy. We do not value that. And I don't know if it's because people think that if it doesn't make me money, if it doesn't make my bag go up, who needs it? I don't know. But we do not value that. All right. What is the name of the book? It is called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. It's going to teach you all about attachment style. Thank you so much. Okay, attached. Yes. People use buzzwords like I'm protecting my energy or I'm setting boundaries when in reality, they're just not interested. That's a lot of dismissive avoidance, to be honest with you. What you just said, I hear that from dismissive avoidance a lot. I really do. Those are the people that are just like, they don't value it. They're not going to try to have human relationships because they just don't value them. They just don't value people and feelings and closeness. They just don't value it. And so I work with a lot of these people to say there is value. There is value in people and there is value in connecting. And let me tell you something. The older you get, and this is what I find so interesting, men are starting to realize this. Men my age, okay, so the Shannon Sharps of the world, he and I are the same age. And he did that video. Oh, yeah, I'm double nickel now. And, now I kind of wish I did have someone to share life with. Now I wish I did have someone to do life with. And, I wished I had gotten married. I would be open to getting married. Because, see, now he recognizes there is value in relationships. There is value in someone knowing you and you knowing someone else. There's a great value in the emotional intimacy. But a lot of people don't see it. Don't nobody care about that. Okay. People don't talk face to face anymore. Exactly. Big problem. Many are afraid to talk on a regular home phone. Oh my God. People talking on the phone. So I have women in my coaching program that every week, that's the assignment. Talk on the phone. Talk on the phone. If the man keeps texting, stop texting him back. Do not respond. Wait until he actually says in text, are you still there? Are you ignoring me? What's going on? Wait till he acknowledges the fact that you are not responding in the text. Okay? Here's a little test. So if I got a phone call, if a man is truly interested, he's going to call. I've actually ran this test many times in the past, long in the past. I would meet a man, we would text, and I'd say, I really am not keen on texting. I'd love it if you called me, right? That's how I would do. I'm really not keen on texting. I'd love it if you call me. Just call me. Feel free to call me. Call me at this time. Call me after this time, right? If that man kept texting, I just didn't respond. And he would text, and look, he would say, are you still there? Are you still interested? You're not responding to my text, right? This whole thing after I done told you, fool, to call me. And guess what they do? 9 times out of 10, that man will call me. He will call me, and look what he get. So he'll call me, and I'll say, hello. Oh my gosh, it feels so wonderful to hear your voice. How are you? What's been going on? And he immediately is like, well, I don't know, because you're not texting me back. Well, because receiving a phone call just feels so much better. This is how I like to communicate. I like to talk on the phone. I like to hear your voice. See? And guess what? Because he was rewarded and I reiterated, I prefer to talk on the phone, then he starts calling me, especially if he's genuinely interested in me. He calls me. He actually follows directions and he calls me. He says, wow, this is how I'm going to get Anita. I need to call on the phone. Yeah, that's it. You're going to call me on the phone and we're going to talk on the phone. And then I give the assignment that those phone calls should get longer and longer and longer. So if you talk for 10 minutes, next time try to go for 15. Next time try to go for 20. At some point, try to have a FaceTime. How about that? Try to have a FaceTime. Okay? I love to FaceTime. And again, you can plan the FaceTime. Some women will tell me, oh, I hate FaceTime because I'm not ready. Okay, then plan it. Say, hey, I'd love to FaceTime with you Friday night at 8:30. And then, girl, get ready. Get ready. Put your face on and get ready. And FaceTime the man. So, yeah, we got to get back to basics. We have got to get back to basics, okay? We've got to reclaim that human interaction. We've got to look each other in the face. We've got to smile, look each other in the eyes. Y'all, I suck at eye contact, right? I have ADHD. This is what a lot of people don't realize. I have ADHD. I've had it my whole life. And it was only until like 2 years ago that that my doctor said, you might want to try getting on some form of medication, right? Prior to that, I've never taken any medication. I've had my little ADHD hacks. I have my ways of doing things. And quite frankly, I've always seen it as my superpower. My ADHD is my superpower. It is the thing that has got me pretty much everything I've ever wanted. So I've never seen it as something derogatory. However, I am easily distracted. Like, I'm honest about that. I'm easily distracted. It's hard for people to hold my eye contact. That's a really hard thing for me. But again, remember, I'm working on my fearful avoidance. I'm working on holding that eye contact. I'm working on, just attentively listening, and I'm working on expressing and sharing my feelings, and I'm working on being vulnerable, right? So we got to work on all of that. That's how we're going to become more securely attached. Okay. But yes, look in people's eyes and really see, like, beyond the words that they're using, really feel and see what's going on with them. Okay. People place their emotions and the insecurities into the text they receive. Oh, for sure. For sure. And honestly, you all, I don't fully understand the text thing because I'm so busy. I'm either driving, I'm either cooking, I'm cleaning up something, like I'm doing something with my hands. And so the idea of just doing this all the day, I'm like, I can't. I don't understand how people do it. And then, how about this? My kids, I still haven't figured this one out. They text with their thumbs. I cannot text with my thumbs. I text with this or this finger right here. Everybody makes fun of me for texting. So I hold my phone and I be like, do, 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 do. That's how I text. That's how I text. I can't text like this. I cannot text with my thumbs. So I don't understand it, but honestly, I don't like texting anyway. I like to talk on the phone. I like to FaceTime, and I certainly like to see you. I want to see you. I want to feel your energy in my presence. So that's just me. All right. But I wanted to do this little teaching about attachment style. I had not done a teaching on attachment style, but I wanted to do this tonight. This is something that I'm personally working on. And I know a lot of y'all out there need to work on this. It's a whole lot of anxious attachments. It's a whole lot of dismissive avoidance. It's a whole lot of fearful avoidance out there. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all. All y'all single people out here in the dating pool, the chances are high that you're one of those 3 attachment styles. Because if you were securely attached, you would be snapped up. You would be snapped up. And you would be in a healthy relationship, okay? And that relationship will be lasting. But if you're in and out of relationships or you've been single a long time, chances are you one of these 3. And I don't say that to make you feel bad, to make you feel wrong. I say that so you can do the work. You need to do the work to become securely attached. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And y'all, I'm in that group. Okay? I'm in that group. I'm in that fearful avoidant group, right? I have relationships and I have long-term relationships, but my fearful avoidance it start acting up. It start acting up. It start self-sabotaging. It start looking for problems. And then there you go. And then I'm out here in the cold again, and then I'm looking again. So that's why I want to work on this. I want to have long-standing, healthy, happy relationships. I want to be securely attached. That is my goal. And I hope it's your goal. Okay? All right. I'm going to save this live. Let me just end this live by saying this is the last live that I will save for everyone to see. Starting tomorrow, March 1st, all of my lives will be saved for subscribers only. You must be a subscriber to watch the live after it has happened. Okay? All right. And we will also be creating some subscriber only content. Now, see, here's the thing y'all need to know. If you become a subscriber, I can start talking about the SEX word. I can start talking about, what you need to do to have more SEX in your relationship. I can start talking to my ladies about what they need to do. I can talk to my men. I can have more frank conversations, real conversations. I can say what I want to say because it's not for everybody. What the content that I post under my subscriber tab, I don't need to worry about them demonetizing me because it's for subscribers only. The only time I get demonetized is when I say or do something for the general public and they don't like it. Here we go. Now I'm demonetized. So March 1st, I made a decision that I'm going to have those spicier conversations over on my subscriber channel. So under my page, you click subscription. That's how you're going to get all of my spicier content. And that's where all my lives are going to be for subscribers only. So consider subscribing. And subscribers get to ask questions. They get to, they get my detailed answers. You must be a subscriber. Okay. And if you don't know, I have a YouTube channel. Head over there, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have a lot of great content over there, free content over there. But subscribe to the YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And if you're coming in at the end, you can rewatch this live, but this will be the last live that'll be saved for people who are not subscribers. But have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, stay open to love.